Hey guys, welcome back to the Locker Room Podcast. Thanks for the interruption. Well, we have a new guest here. Sam, welcome.
Thank you. We're trading Ranger for Ranger, apparently.
Yeah, yep, and you're also designing our logo, so a bit of a shout out for that.
I do double as a designer and a 2K carrier. So
there you go. And returning finally, thankfully for not having work, is Lachie.
Thanks for having me back, mates.
No NFL gear on this week.
Nah, not this week. I do need to get myself a Carolina jersey, but
bandwagon.
Yeah, I'll work on that. Yeah, no, definitely a bandwagon there. Haven't gone for them for the last 6-7 years, but anyway.
Didn't one of your best players just injure himself after?
Yeah, correct.
We'll get to that.
Christian McCaffrey's done his hamstring. Don't know how bad, but yeah, not ideal.
Just after you said
the
preview.
By a point.
By a point. That's not very promising. We'll start at the Brownlow. So obviously, first time ever that 4 players have polled over 30. Wine's unbelievably tying Dusty for 30, the most votes, which I don't know how. We'll go to you first, Sam. Thoughts on the Brownlow?
It was a bit of a crazy one, wasn't it? With the 4 people getting 30 votes, I think it's pretty. As you said, it's the first time ever, so it is unheard of. I think there was a few players that probably deserved a few more votes. In McRae, definitely getting robbed of a few, having the 40 disposal game and not even getting a single one. I think maybe Took Miller probably deserved a few more as well. I think he was pretty low down the list for someone that broke that game's record for most 30 disposal games in a row. So,
Lachie, you got anything to?
Not really, to be honest. Sammy Walder's a couple of young guns that are coming through, like Sammy Walsh and Darcy Parish, obviously ended up with 23 and 23. And did Sam Walsh have 24 or was it 23?
Sam Walsh had 30.
He was in 30s, yeah.
He was in the 30s. Well, what I'm looking at here is totally wrong. Totally. This thing that I've got here says Jack Steele polled 31. He didn't even get 27.
No, he was the one. He'd be on a predictor, I reckon. Sam got 30 exactly.
Steele was the one that disappointed me. I thought he was going to get a lot more in those later rounds and get into at least top 4. But
yeah,
this one's a good one for you, Ollie. Actually, what are your thoughts on Richmond's highest vote getter being 11 votes in Dusty?
We didn't have a really good season, so I mean, I'm not so. I feel like
that's not the. I don't think that's the point that he's trying to make. That your highest vote getter was 11 and he played like half a year.
I feel like Kane Lambert doesn't get respect from those types of things.
Yeah, he had 3 votes.
Yeah, it's a bit. I mean, I'm not saying that we should get more votes because I mean, season we had was pretty shit, and Shy Bolton's always inconsistent. So I'm not going to complain, but it's a bit disappointing. What I'm more
he's sort of one of those. He's one of those players that can get like. He'd be able to get like 15 votes if he could get 5 fucking best on grounds and end up somewhere up there. But he's just too inconsistent.
Just needs to decide whether he's playing in the midfield or fucking forward line. But
so Sam Walsh had 30 and Parish had 26. So
I think I'm just a bit disappointed in Clayton.
It's always going to be hard for him though, like because he had 31, Petrarca had 23. Like I think Gorney ended up with 16. As well, or something like that. There's too many people to take votes off him. I'm surprised there was such a big gap between Bont and McRae. Like you said, that's just.
Well,
didn't he have like a 38 disposal game and like a 36 disposal game? He didn't poll votes.
Disposal game.
What happened? There was 2 games back to back, which I found interesting. So Bont had 38. McRae had 38 disposals and Bont had 31 and 2 goals. Bont got 3 votes and McRae didn't get any. And the very next game, Bont had 37 disposals and McRae had 32 and 2 goals. So basically switched around. McRae got 1 vote, Bont got 3. And it's just like...
Yeah, I feel like it's just the name. Sometimes like it's just...
Maybe it's just his luscious locks of hair.
Big-bodied inside mid, more noticeable.
He's 6'4" as well, isn't he?
Well, how come you haven't polled many votes then, Ollie? Big-bodied inside mid.
Yeah, true. I mean,
obviously works because our best mate Brad Civarella obviously did all right in the reserves GVFL vote getting.
Big shout out to Siva.
Finished 7th in that, pretty sure, the big fella.
Big bodied inside mid. But
correct.
No, I just find it like, I think it's going to be hard for even Clayton to win it at all, to be honest. Like, he plays a defensive midfielder instead of, especially when you got Petrarca, who's an attacking midfielder who goes forward and gets all those goals.
Yeah,
100%. But I mean, Clayton's kicking this year has been, ridiculous.
It depends how you look at it as well. Clayton has his flashy handballs that he does as well.
Yeah.
Like, they do stand out, I know.
He breaks the game open with them.
It looks like he
does.
Hasn't even touched
Definitely does.
Well, we'll move on to the game this weekend. The Dogs versus the D's. Now, we haven't got
games this weekend.
The grand final, believe it or not. We haven't
a big one.
we haven't got a Dog supporter or a D supporter in here, so that's probably a good thing.
That doesn't bother me at all. Shout out to Sharpie, who's not here.
Fake Dog supporter.
Yeah.
Well,
we actually went for Richmond last year.
First, we'll go to the battle of the mids. Who's got the stronger midfield, or who do you think is going to come out on top?
It's ridiculous. Both of their midfield.
Next question.
Ridiculous. I think Vaughan's the difference in there, though.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Him being the big body brute that he is, I think he's the difference between the two midfields. I think probably Libba's probably a bit different to Viney. They're two different players, because I think out of Clayton Petrarca and then McRae and Bond, like those players are so similar. It's hard to separate them, but then the separation's probably with Gawn and then Viney and Libba.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Libba actually plays that sort of role that Clayton does.
Yeah.
That sort of in and under, feeding everyone. Like how many votes did he end up with this year?
He barely. I was so disappointed in how many he didn't get.
That's what I thought.
He was he was the best clearance player in the comp, wasn't he? I think he had the most clearances.
Unbelievable.
Plays tackles as well, kicks goals.
Yeah. But that's the thing. All that stuff doesn't get noticed.
Now this is where it's been thrown around a lot, but I honestly think Libba's been the barometer for the Bulldogs. Mate, like you watched Port Adelaide when they versed Port Adelaide during the season, they tagged Libba with Willem Drew, and he was taken out of the game straight away, and they still won, but they didn't start as great. Yet in the final, Willem Drew started on the bench, and Libba had like 6 disposals and like 4 clearances in the first quarter. And then they put him on him, and he finished with 19 disposals. So, I mean, I don't.
The D's have a tagger though.
I think they're going to put Harms on him, I'd say. I don't think they're going to tag him. But what's that? Sorry,
Harms is starting on the bench as well.
Yeah,
so
well,
could be mirror image of the Port Doggies game where Libby gets away early.
Well, the Doggies is it the Doggies or Melbourne?
They stuffed that up, didn't they?
Is it the Doggies or Melbourne that start off really well in the first quarter? I think it's. Is it Doggies?
I reckon the Doggies.
The Doggies do.
Team,
yeah,
they're a really good first quarter team.
But yeah, Port definitely stuffed that up.
Definitely think out of the gate they'll try to take it away from Melbourne. Then you see games like where Melbourne played Geelong. And that's where D's are a better second half, or even second half team.
They're so fit.
I feel like Melbourne have got a lot more durability than the Dogs, just from what I've seen. I think, but Bailey Smith, he's been playing wing, or has he been playing half forward flank? I'm
playing a bit everywhere, but he's had a good series.
Because I reckon the wings will be interesting, because like obviously the midfield's juggernauts, and then you got probably Treloar on the wing, and then Bailey Smith on one other wing. Who's the Melbourne wingers? James Jordan.
Langdon.
James Jordan's not playing, is he?
Jordan plays on there. I think he's a Medi sub.
Yeah.
Jordan plays on the back flank anyways.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think.
Who's the other wing for the who have we got?
Is it
Brayshaw?
Oh, Brayshaw, yeah. He'll be good. But yeah, it'll be interesting. We'll go on to
Langdon's a big surprise though. He's a pretty handy player. He's had a couple 30 disposal games this year, I think, as well.
He goes unnoticed.
He gets forward and kicks goals.
I say he goes unnoticed. I think the other year he beat Clayton in their club BNF, which is interesting. But
God, Jack Viney's playing his 150th as well.
Oh Jesus!
Wowee.
Got a feel for Josh Bruce as well. I don't like him, but
Yeah.
While I brought that up, actually, do you think everyone should get a medal?
Mm-mm.
I think it should be a percentage. Like if you've played like 75% of the season,
and
you should get one.
But if you're getting dropped, no. But if you're injured, I think that's an exception.
If you're injured and you've played 75%, I think if you're getting dropped, it's still like it's a touchy subject for some people, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think
I agree. I reckon if you play a certain amount of games during the year and even play like a couple of finals games and then
I'm gonna have to edit that, so we'll get
Happy days.
We'll get back to it anyway. So you think that? So you say they play a percentage of games. I get that, but is that players that get dropped or players that get injured or both?
I don't know. I think it's like I said, it's such a touchy subject that if you change tradition, and I don't think a lot of people, especially for if they changed it, for instance, next year, people after that during the first 10 years, I reckon they wouldn't feel like they deserved it.
I feel like there's a participation sort of thing about it.
Yeah, which is not ideal as well. We've got enough participations awards as kids.
But that's the thing,
to be at the professional level.
I think they want it to be like American sports, like in the NBA. You got players like Skeleton who doesn't play a minute but gets a. But then again, that's a lot less.
Different sport. It's totally different.
That's a 12-player list. It's not a.
And it's like 82 games. Like it's totally different. Totally different.
And it's not like you got 45 players and you got a backup. You got a VFL team and everything. I mean,
you can get traded. Like it's a lot more to it than that, I reckon. But it's a touchy one. I think we'll be talking about that for the next couple of years, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think they should change it. I think they should leave it as.
No, I think like AFL is a pretty traditional game. Like they don't like changing many traditions and that. And I think that's probably one that should, stay the way it is. But
it's the same in soccer. Like in the World Cup and stuff. The players only get a medal if you're playing the World Cup team, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah. Who do you feel worse for, Jones or Bruce?
Jones has been through so much.
Yeah.
But he's
having to stick around there.
That's the thing. He's not injured. But then again,
that's the thing. Who the hell do you drop for him? Like he's not even in the emergencies. Like who the hell do you drop for him?
Spargo. I mean, not Spargo, Sparrow.
I was gonna say
that's the one. Maybe.
So Ed Langdon and Brayshaw are starting on the wings for.
Then Harms on the bench. As that backup winger / midfielder.
That's the thing. Even if you just put him in as a Medi sub and just let him.
And then toothless Luke Jackson's on the bench.
Toothless.
I think JJ deserved to keep his spot after last week. He played really well.
Still disappointing though that Lath didn't get in.
Yeah, the poor man.
Has the Medi sub been named for the doggies? Is it?
It wasn't him. Anthony Scott. Who knows?
As it is for Lath as well. I think the team that they have, he's going to have many more chances.
Yeah.
100%. It's not like they're just going to have one tilt at it.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of young players in there.
We'll move on to I was tossing up whether we go forwards versus forwards, but I think it's better off just going Bulldogs forwards versus Melbourne's defense. How they stack up. Now, who goes to Norton, because that he can grab anything in the air, but does May actually go to him, or
it's going to be interesting to see if his hammy's going to hold up jumping at balls all the time with Norton. I don't know. It's going to be I think May will have to go to him, and then try and have Lever getting in front of him. But then again, like they'll have Shaki probably playing the same role he did on Aliir. So that's going to be, because God, he played a good game against Aliir. That was unreal. So I think they'll probably go for the same tactic. But then again, Melbourne, they've had 2 weeks to plan for it. So
I think May's probably the one that will be able to keep him grounded as well. The bigger body.
Block his run and everything.
I reckon it'll be the whole team. The whole team will just try and bump him off and not let him have a run and jump at the footy. And if they do, good luck.
Feel bad for Clayton. That's probably going to be sitting in that hole a lot of the times. When he gets back. So But I feel like what's the small Salem and what's the small redhead bloke?
Trent Rivers.
Is it Trent Rivers or the
Michael Hibbard?
Nah, the little redhead. He's playing like his 9th game. I forget his name.
Bowie.
Yeah, Bowie. I feel like they're gonna have their hands full because I feel like all the Bulldogs small forwards are actually very good when they want to be. Like Mitch Hannon, I reckon he'll be an important player this week.
They've got Treloar starting forward as well.
Yeah. Yeah, Treloar, Waitman.
The Bulldogs forward line is deadly.
Yeah, that's a stacked forward line.
So is the Melbourne defense.
And that's why it's such a good game. Like,
and then you look at Melbourne's forward line, like it's
Well, let's go on to that now.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Let's
go on to that now. I mean,
it's going to be a good game, that's for sure.
Melbourne have got 3 bigs in Brown, Jackson, and McDonald, and obviously Gorn will probably go there with and Fritsch. So who go? You got what? Cordy probably going to Ben Brown, I'd say.
Or Alex Keith. Yeah, I reckon he will too.
Alex Keith. Who you got? Going to McDonald and Luke Jackson.
I reckon Easton will go to McDonald.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. And then I reckon Cordy will go to Jackson when he goes forward.
You reckon he'll be able to keep up with him?
He'll swap between Gorn and Jackson when they're swapping around.
So does that mean you put Taylor Duray on Keziah Pickett or Fritsch?
I think he goes to I reckon the other 3 outside of that probably have to chop and change a fair bit. I think they'll probably set up on a player, but because of how the game will be played, I think they'll probably end up on different players when the ball's coming in.
Yep. It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, because there was a stat like Bulldogs get absolutely smashed by small forwards. There was games where like Eddie Betts had 5 goals. And just all this.
Did Pickett kick a few last time they played as well?
Yeah, I think he kicked 3. 3, I think. And then
plus
Charlie Cameron had 4. What's that?
They've got to try and keep Petrarca and Clayton under control when they roll forward. They've got a lot to...
I reckon Clayton will sneak a goal somehow.
It's paying $3, so definitely get on that.
But
that in a multi.
Yeah, it's going to be it's just unreal game. But whose bottom 6 players for the teams is better? Do you think?
Oh God!
I think the Doggies have bigger names, but I don't think they've got better players. I think the names for the Doggies they stand out more. You know, like they're sort of household names. You know who they all are. But just because they've got that doesn't mean that the D's players aren't better. But I think the D's players are better going off the season anyways.
Because I feel like it's just going to come down. Yeah, the stars are going to be stars, but it's probably going to come down to a couple of the lesser players having to stand up and do something.
Yeah.
Whether they actually do or not. Last question: Who benefits if it does rain?
I think it's a bit of a tie.
Yeah, I don't reckon you can really separate them.
Yeah, like
they've both got enough inside. Yeah.
If it does rain, I think players like Langdon will play better games. Like being those outside players that get it on the outside.
The one thing it could just even out that midfield battle with Gorn.
Yeah.
That's probably the only thing that I could really see. And if the Melbourne forwards have got like 3 bigs, if it's a bit wet, that could even things out a little bit too. But yeah, they're pretty even all across the ground, no matter what sort of conditions they are, I reckon.
The Bulldogs have got more recent experience in the wet, but Clayton, I'd like to see what his stats are when it rains, because I swear he averages 35 and a goal when it's raining. He's just so clean, and his handballs are on point.
Doesn't matter what
it rains, if it rains and they win, he ties up the Norm Smith.
Yeah, I agree. Yep. So we'll get on to those main awards now. We'll go in order first. So we'll go Norm Smith. Who wins? Who wins? And by how much?
D's win. I reckon D's win by 4 goals.
Yeah, I was going to say D's by 3 goals.
I got D's by 22. So,
so
basically the same.
If the Bulldogs win, we're all dumb.
Norm Smith?
Depending on the conditions, I reckon either Clayton I don't reckon it can go to anyone outside of, if the D's win, can go to anyone outside of Clayton, Gawn or Petrarca.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's Clayton or Gawn. I don't see. Who would you put on if the Bulldogs do win? Is it just Bontempelli or is it McRae, Libba?
Going off the Brownlow, it's McRae's not even in contention.
Yeah. Even if he gets 40.
Go Bailey Smith.
Yeah, true. I completely forgot about him.
You could also go for a player like Norton if he kicks 4 or 5.
Yeah, and JJ's obviously been there, done that.
Well, that's what I thought. Maybe Caleb Daniel or a Salem could be a shout, just getting 30 off the half back line. But yeah, I think it's got to be a star player. I don't see how it's going to be a shock like Joe Hannison or something. First goal.
Well, I've got a good one for this because I reckon this bloke's had a bit of a crazy career, you could say. He's been at a bit of a poor side over the last couple of years. He's gone to a good side this year. I think the side that he was at, they should probably fold and head to Tassie. And that's Ben
Brown. Big lead up.
The big Benny Brown.
How long have you been preparing that for?
Yeah, I've spoken to Ollie about it all morning.
It actually hurts, but good on him. Good on him.
Would not surprise me though if he gets shut out this game.
Yeah, it depends how clean the ball is that they get.
He's a bit bipolar in his games, isn't he? He's either really good or he's invisible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Lachie? Who are you got?
Depends on the service.
In 2K.
Depends on the service he gets. Yeah, it's a good question.
Did you just join?
Yes, he did. I reckon Cody Waitman coming back in, kicking the first goal, getting the boys up and about. I reckon that'd be unreal. So that's who I'll go for. I
was tossing up between two. The other one was Spargo, but I'm going to go Mitch Hannon. I reckon I just feel like one of those underdogs will get the goal. Who do you reckon out of the excluding the Stars will have the best game or will surprise us or something?
I've already mentioned him a couple of times, but I think Langdon. I think he's not in that group of stars that the D's have, but he's the player that if someone.
I reckon Steph Martin could get up and about for this game. The big fella. I like a ruckman in the grand final.
He knows Melbourne well, or somewhat well as well, so he'll probably know how to not beat Gorney in the ruck, but he'll know how to body him and get under his skin and stuff.
I think Treloar will have a bit of motivation too after not winning the one when he was with Collingwood, so he could be a sneaky.
I think Martin's first 10 minutes will outline the day for him. I think.
Yeah, correct.
Sorry. If Gawn gets on top early, I think Martin's out of the game completely, and that's
as soon as Gawn gets his head up, he's good luck. Yeah. He'll start running forward, taking clunks, and they'll be like, Jesus,
kicking
what are we doing
5 goals.
Yeah.
I've got Neil Bullen, so he's had a few. He's had a few really good games. I think he got like 28 and a goal on his birthday against the Eagles. So I mean, he can step up, but then again, he can also go missing. But he's one to watch. So that's anything else? Anyone have anything else to add for the footy?
Nah.
That's about it.
Nah.
All right.
That's about it. Sharp as a sheep.
Yeah. Well, we'll put. I've got a 10-minute timer, so we need to up this apparently. I'll go to Slugs Horsey.
You're the host. Speed it up, son.
So
Slugs Horsey.
Jesus
all right.
Christ.
That makes me cringe every single time.
I've never gotten this far into watching an episode, so
all right. So
you're not by chance an audio designer as well, are you, Sam?
No, not quite.
What do you mean? That's great. Everyone.
What do you
mean?
Oh,
so the first one, race 4, number 2 at Sandown Zuzarella. I think that's how you pronounce it. Number 2 is race 7, number 2 at Rose Hill. He had this a couple of weeks ago in Trivier. I think, again, that's how you pronounce it. And he's each way of the day. Race 1 at number 5 at Sandown, Big Twist of Fury. So
the twist is back.
He hasn't put enough promise in it to kick it as a winner, but he's got it as his each way.
When's it racing? Sandown tomorrow.
Yeah, race 1. So
race 1.
I had a few.
Nah, it's a good 4. It's not going to win. It needs to be a wet track.
Well, it's starting at like $7 or something. So
it's into $6.50 now. It needs to be a wet track. Has to be a wet track.
Since we got a limited time, we'll breeze through a couple of things. Washington versus Giants. Did you see that game, Lachie?
Not really. No. I watched the last little bit of it, and it was intense. It was crazy. Yeah. I don't know how they ended up losing that game, but it was a crazy game.
Friday game. Bloody Giants have a curse on Thursday night football. They haven't won like 17 times or something ridiculous.
Something insane.
They get a field goal up with like a minute 20, and then what's his name? Taylor Heineke makes a few good plays, gets it into field goal range, and then the field goal misses, but one of the Giants players is lined up offside, and it comes back and they kick the winner. So I mean, that's pretty
coach killer. Don't come Monday.
Is Derek Carr a top 5 quarterback? Obviously, he's leading the season in yards.
Not right now. Josh Allen, Mahomes, Brady,
Russell Wilson.
Josh Allen, Mahomes, Brady,
Aaron Rodgers.
And then it's like, then it'd be
Lamar Jackson.
Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson after the weekend. Yeah. That was unreal. I don't reckon he is.
Yeah.
I reckon he is.
If he continues there, he can get up there. Is Trevor Lawrence still the favorite for Rookie of the Year, offensive Rookie of the Year?
I don't think so. Only be offensive Rookie of the Year, maybe. I don't know. Jacksonville are just so bad that they, no matter who you put in
14 for 33, 118 yards and 2 interceptions with a touchdown.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just Jacksonville is a hard team to come into and be good straight away.
Winston returns to his old self, 111 yards, correct. 2 interceptions, and lost to your Panthers.
Go Panthers. Shout out to Sharpie. Rights. Go Saints.
I'll skip a few. So Pats beat the Jets. Tom Brady had 5 touchdowns and 276 yards. He's
a fine wine, that man.
It's just standard. Now, the big thing on the weekend was there was no T game with the Titans and King Henry absolutely dominating. I can't remember who they versed now.
There was some kid that broke his high school rushing record, though, the other day.
Oh, Jesus.
The
new king in town. But the story of the weekend was all the field goals for the wins and for the losses and all that. It was ridiculous. I mean, Rams kicked a field goal to win the game with 2 minutes 20 left. Vikings missed one against the Cardinals, and the commentary for that was amazing.
And that was insane, wasn't it?
And the Cowboys beat the Chargers, who Chargers always seem like they're losing close games.
Yeah.
But, Ravens Chiefs, the last game we'll talk about. Mate, Jesus.
That was unreal.
I thought they were going to lose with the injuries the Ravens have had, and Mahomes getting in front, you think it's game over. And Mahomes doing something he doesn't do in September, throwing his first interception ever, and then ever in September, and it results in his first ever loss in September.
Yep.
Which is a ridiculous stat. But I think many teams can beat the Chiefs this year.
Carolina just scored. Live commentary. Let's go.
I was wondering what that was.
Let's go.
Up by 8 now.
Sorry. Yep. Well, that's if we kick the field goal.
I think there's a fair few teams that can beat the Chiefs in their conference, not just in the Super Bowl, like the Bills, the Ravens, obviously my Patriots, the Browns. I mean,
my goodness.
Just got to trust in your team. But there's at least 3 teams that can beat them, and then Titans if they come good. But we'll quickly go through
the way we're going, the Panthers are going to be 3-0, mate.
Very true. I don't think it's result in anything.
No, without McCaffrey. When we're done without McCaffrey. Sorry, moving on. Sorry.
Do a quick preview. So Chiefs Chargers, pick your winner.
Chiefs Chargers. Yeah, it's a tough one. Not really Chiefs.
Yeah, I think it's the Chiefs. Pats Saints. Me versus Sharpie.
I'll go the Pats. I reckon they'll have a win. I reckon Belichick will just absolutely confuse the shit out of Jameis Winston, the man. So I reckon the Pats will win that.
I'm calling 2 interceptions for Winston now, but yes, I think the Pats win.
At least.
So we'll go to Sam for this next game. Browns versus the Bears.
This is my favourite one, seeing as this comes back to Ben Brown again. He was at a bad team. He's at a good team. North should fold and go to Tassie.
So he's going with the Browns.
I'm going with the Browns.
The Ben Browns.
Are you going with the Browns too, Lachie?
Who are they playing? Sorry, I missed that. I was just in shock.
The Bears.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, Bears. Definitely. Tell me they were playing the Shet Bears.
Oh, the Shet Bears. Your old team. 49ers, Packers.
Oh, God. Packers, I think they'll win.
I've got the 49ers. Is it at Lambeau? I don't think it's...
good question.
I don't think it is because the last game was at Lambeau, so I think this one's in...
Oh, mate, their schedule's different.
Yeah, true. But I still think the 49ers win that. I've got trust in Jimmy Garoppolo.
Where the 49ers? No, it looks like it's that. Oh, no, they're at San Fran. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. And
they're the opposite to AFL.
The game of the week, Rams versus the Bucks. Probably a future conference final matchup.
Rams v Bucks. I think the Bucks win. Still.
Yeah, I hope they do.
Yeah, I think they will. But yeah, it's gonna be very interesting because obviously Rams defense is unreal.
Interesting to see how many times Donald hits him.
They're pretty even though. Because like the Bucks ranked 13th in offense. Rams are 16th. Yeah, it's gonna be. I think the Bucks will still win. But they've got the king.
All right, well
on their side, but the Rams did win last time they met.
Yes. All right. Well, I'm back in the Bucks. I think we've got to finish up. So I've just been told that there's less than a minute. So thanks for joining us, Lachie.
Anytime, my friend. Good to see you again. Anytime
you're not working. And thank you to the graphic designer of our new logo. So
the king,
Sam. If it's the followers or the listeners don't like the logo, they come to you. They blame you.
They can come to me and blame me. Yes.
And there will be a few t-shirts. Great. There will be a few t-shirts if people want them. I will make about 10 and I'll give them to you guys and whoever else wants.
Do a giveaway. Do a giveaway on Twitter. Do a giveaway.
Yeah.
I do love a giveaway.
For sure.
Well, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed if you made it to this point. And goodbye.